Okay, right, so we're going to continue looking at the ankle, and we're going to look at a really common injury now. We're going to look at an ankle sprain. Very simple injury to do, but you can be doing it under a number of different mechanisms. So most commonly, walking in the street, slipping on leaves, missing a curb, missing a step, and you roll your ankle in, stressing the lateral ligament that sits at the front and lateral side of the ankle. Again, obviously, if you're tending to do this as a walking, it will be sore. You'll probably have to hobble home, and I'll give you some tips to make sure that we can help settle things down. Equally, you can take this up to another level. You're running, you're out playing sport, you change direction. Again, same injury, you're still rolling your ankle, you're still stressing the ligament. It's just that you'll probably have done a bit more damage, and it might take a little bit longer to calm down. The key thing with an ankle sprain is if it doesn't recover quickly and progressively, it's definitely worth making sure you check if anything else has been damaged. Over 2 or 3 days, you should find that you can move from maybe hobbling around and taking a little bit of weight off it to actually being quite comfortable putting weight through it. It should progress quite quickly. After that point, 2 to 3 weeks, most ankle sprains should sort of settle down. It's advisable to see somebody to make sure that you get all the muscles working correctly again and get the proprioception back, the ability to know where your ankle is in space and time. That's what creates chronic ankle problems later on when we don't do that. But if things are progressing nicely, you should find, as I say, in 2 or 3 weeks, you should be able to get back to a fairly normal activity. So let's have a look at a couple of things we can do to help that recovery. Okay, so the first thing we want to do to look after your ankle in that initial phase is icing. Bag of peas from the freezer will do the job to begin with. Please don't eat the peas. Pop it on the outside of the ankle. Maybe if you've got some tuber grip, pop it over the top so you've got a bit of compression on it. Not directly onto the skin, so have a damp cloth or something underneath, and you're going to leave it on for 5 minutes. And then you're going to take it off, leave it off for 5 minutes and repeat. And I would repeat that cycle 3 or 4 times to get the best effect. So don't just leave it on for 15 minutes. It has the opposite effect. After constricting, then it'll start to open up because the body will go into a fright mode, and it will start to flood more fluid into the area, which will actually make the problem worse. So 5 minutes maximum on the outside of the foot with some compression, damp cloth in between your skin and the ice, and we'll go from there. Okay, so in the first phases of your ankle sprain, what are the top things to work on? I really like to make sure you keep movement going on in your ankle while you're in that first phase of the injury. So sitting down, like we've got Rihanna here, just doing and stick within the pain-free range, just pulling your foot up, pointing down, just to keep some movement going. Excellent, and then stop, and then come in and out, and just, as I said, you don't have to push into the pain. Give your body time to recover. It will settle down quite quickly, but just so that we're getting movement happening, and then little circles in both directions. Okay, that will help keep the muscle moving, get the swelling to settle down, keep the joints and ligaments loaded and getting some stress through them so that they're starting to get strong, and we build up that tissue tolerance again. Okay, I would be looking in the first couple of days doing this every hour for a couple of minutes so that you really start to get things settled down. Other things you can do, tuber grip, you can buy, I would tend to get some felt and cut out a horseshoe shape and stick it around the ankle so that the swelling that tends to sit around the ankle bone is compressed, and we can keep that swelling from building up and adding extra pressure onto the tissues. And then pop your tuber grip over the top, up to your knee. You don't need to wear it at night, you don't need to wear it when you're sitting down all the time, so do give yourself a bit of a chance to have a rest, but have it on. It will help keep the swelling at bay and calm things down. Obviously, when you've been at work or been out for the day and the swelling will be slightly worse in the evenings, pop it up so that you have it rested, help the swelling to come down. And they're probably your key steps to make sure in the first part that you're looking after the ankle and settling things down. Okay, so a couple of tips for you just to get the exercise side of things going. The first thing that I'd like you to do at home, get into the corridor and try and do some normal heel strike and pushing off through your toe walking. Go slower, it'll be a shorter stride than normal, but we're trying to get a nice even walking pattern and normalize that so that your body gets used to walking correctly, using the muscles and loading the tissues in the same way. Okay, so that's one. Tip one. Tip two, we're going to get you in sitting with very minimal load, and you're just going to do a little heel lift up onto your toes and down, so that we're just getting some load through those tissues to work the lateral part of the ankle and build up some tissue tolerance in there. I'd be doing that for sort of a minute, 2 minutes at a time, just to get some nice consistent load through there. It shouldn't be painful, okay? And then if I get you to stand up for me, Rihanna. So really easy one to finish with. You brush your teeth twice a day. Fantastic opportunity to build your proprioception, your awareness of where your ankle is in space and time. So if I get you to stand just on the one leg and just hold, slightly soft knee, and brush your teeth and stay there for the 2 minutes while you're brushing your teeth. If it's too sore to put all the weight onto it, come back onto both. If it's too sore, just stand, and while you're brushing your teeth, just rock your weight across and then back off, so that we're loading the joint, loading the tissues, and building up that tolerance. As you get better, then you can go to single leg and do your balance work as appropriate. Okay, so I hope that helps with some exercises, some advice, and get your ankle back on the right track quickly.